Want PNM supporters to answer a couple of questions for me. Number one, what has the previous regimes of Trinidad and Tobago used? What funds did they use to maintain the infrastructure, the roads for the past 60 years? What did they use? In the early 90s, the 80s, the 70s. Yes, we always had deplorable roads. But admit the truth. Every time UNC was in power, whether it was in the 90s or under Kamla in between 2010 to 2015, our major roadways were always looking newly paved. And even minor roads in my own district, Lindsay Street, Gilg Street in San Grande, every 6 months or at least once a year, freshly paved roads. Matter of fact, it was so nice and smooth, cars used to be passing in the back here speeding on it as if it's a highway. That's to tell you. Right? So, this total, utter nonsense that Rohan and PNM pushing about needing property tax to maintain our roadways is a blatant lie. Funds have been allocated to the Ministry of Works every year, annually in the fiscal budgets. And yet there's nothing or next to nothing to show for where those funds have gone. So it's not about the funding. It's about the accountability. What is being done? How our funds, our taxpayers' dollars are being spent. And yet there's nothing to show for it. So at the end of the day, even if you implement the property tax, and the local governments, the regional corporations receive those funds, it's only enabling the central government to steal more funds. Because, as I said before, for the past 50 years, 60 years, central government has been successfully funding the Ministry of Works in order to be able to pave the main roads, the highways. And before this extra evil regime of Rowley came into power, our minor roads in our communities were also paved, at least when elections came around. Not patches like Rohan patches. They used to still play the psychological games with us and give us paved roads under Manning and whoever else, Chambers and whoever. This man not even doing that. This man just giving you patch roads, and some of those patch roads actually you're getting back potholes within a couple weeks. Because it's a patch. And a patch can't hold for long. Just like with an old bicycle tire. The patch can't hold for long. So you're just mamagaing people. Right? So you all really need to stop it with the false narrative about we will have better roads once the regional corporations start to get property tax. Because even if they do get those funds, how are we sure that especially the PNM run corporations will actually utilize those funds properly? And then, as I said before, all you're doing is impoverishing the citizens of Trinidad by forcing them to pay a tax for funding that the government has been providing for decades. Why are you trying to impoverish the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago more for something that Kamla and Pandey successfully did with the funds that they had? The PNM regime allocates the same 50 to 60 billion dollars annually, and yet barely does anything to benefit Trinidad and Tobago. It's not like Kamla and Panday were spending far more than PNM. There are times when PNM's budgets are even larger than Kamla or Panday, definitely Panday. So what's the excuse for our infrastructure being in such a deplorable condition? What's the excuse for the roads? What's the excuse for WASA being in the state that they are in, whereby the majority of people in Trinidad and Tobago cannot have a proper, reliable supply of water? Come on, PNM supporters. You all need to stop being willfully blind. This woman that you all hate so much, Kamla, is the one that gave your children laptops that you snubbed at. Yet the majority of times when we are buying second-hand laptops now, is a Kamla laptop you're buying. It's a Kamla laptop refurbished that you are buying. But you snubbed at it when you got it. Sad in this place. Really sad. Stop hating. Gosh.